Hey guys, Crystal here, and welcome back to Learn How to Crochet with Crystal. We are on week 6. So this week, because it's week 6, I figured that maybe we'd do a little bit of a challenge. So in this one, we will be working a pattern. This is called a granny stitch square. I am just doing the one color so that you can see what we're doing, because it is kind of our first like actual kind of pattern. Because let's see, we've learned slip stitches like for color changes and finishing off. We've learned our single crochets, our half double crochets, and our double crochets. This is mostly made out of double crochets and clusters of double crochets, and yeah, they're kind of fun, but they can be hard to learn unless you kind of know, like you have an idea of what you're kind of doing. And they're very beautiful in different colors. So for this, I'm using a worsted weight number 4 yarn and a number 4mm crochet hook. And that's what I'll be using tonight, but I'll be doing it in white so it's easier to kind of see what I'm doing. You can also do this in a cotton if you would prefer, which is more heat resistant, because you can keep working around and making these as big as you want them to be. So I will be doing another video with the cotton, which will also have the color changes in that. So if you want to like follow this one along and then say you want to level up, try the next challenge of the color changes and the cotton, then feel free to join that video as well. I typically for the cotton would use a 3mm crochet hook, but mine broke, so I'll be using a 3.25, which is totally fine. But if you have a 3, use a 3, or depending on your tension, right, you can use whichever you would like. But anyway, we'll save that for the next video. So for this, okay, let's get started here. One thing I just want to point out is whenever we do a chain 2, we're making a corner. Like these corners, these are all chain 2 spaces. Those are the only times we are chaining 2, is when we're making a corner. But I will get there. And you will too. I just know that some beginner crocheters really struggle with making granny squares. But I will do my best, and we will see. I almost forgot how to make one myself, actually. When I was refreshing my memory with this one, I just kind of had to refresh my memory before I did this. So we're going to go ahead and make our little starting loop, like so. Okay, we insert our hook and we're going to chain 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to make a circle with this chain 4, because a lot of this pattern, I know we've been working in stitches themselves, but in this pattern, we're going to be working in the spaces more so. So that's what we need to create. We need to create a little circle space for us to get started to work through, because we won't be working through the stitches so much here. Maybe just to join on some of the rows, but for the most part, we're going to be working inside the actual stitches. So we need to create one. So let's put our hook in here. Make sure you have 2 of the yarns, and make sure that you don't twist your yarn like this. Make sure it's straight. Okay. Oops. See if I can get back in there now. So you want 2 of these guys on top, where you should have the one on the bottom. Okay, like so. And we are going to do a slip stitch. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. And then I kind of put my finger here to kind of hold, because that is going to be our hole right there. Okay, so I kind of hold my thumb there and I pull through this second one there. Okay, so that's our hole that we're going to be working through right there. Just try to move the tail here out of the way. All right, so to start now, we're going to do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that we have our chain 3, we're going to do a double crochet inside that hole that we created right there. So to do that, we yarn over, we insert our hook right in the center, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? Now, the reason why we did this chain 3 is because we want 2 post double crochet clusters, like in here, to make this little cross in the center. We want 2, 2, 2, 2. So this chain 3 is basically acting as a double crochet just to get us started, right? So now that we did that, we're gonna have to make another space, which will be our corner. Okay, so this is right here. We're right here right now. So we need to make this space that's going to be our corner, which is going to keep going out into our corner to grow, grow, grow. Now, in order to do that, we need to chain 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that's the beginning of our corner. So that will create a space here to work into for our corners later on. Now, we need to yarn over, go back into our little hole there, and we have to make another 2 double crochet cluster. So we pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, go back inside. I know we didn't do this last time because we did the chain 3 just to get us started and get that height. But now we need to do 2 double crochets like that. Okay, and then we chain 2 because this will be our next corner already, because we're just small right now. So right now, let's say we're going like this. So there's 2 here, corner, 2 here, corner, and then you will see like it'll start to form a square. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. So this is our first corner. You will see more as we go here. Okay, so yarn over, we insert our hook, we do 2 more double crochet clusters, 1, 2. Okay, and then we chain 2 again. All right, so this is our third corner. Yarn over, 2 double crochet clusters. Think of like a bridge, right? So for a bridge, you need something holding that bridge up in the middle. That's what these 2 double crochet clusters are. They're in the center of the corners, but they're there to hold that square up. Oops. Hold on, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here we are. We have this one. I'm going to jump over here now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, because, sorry, 2, oh yeah, okay, so I need to chain 2 now, sorry. I need to chain 2 now. 1, 2, okay, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch in the top, the very top of that chain 3 space. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. You see that? So the very, very top one right before this double crochet post, right there. We're going to insert our hook there in the inside the stitch because we're doing a slip stitch just to connect. Okay, there we go. We're starting to form now. Okay, so now looking at it this way, you see how we're kind of starting a square. So we start with our cross in the middle, just like on this one. We have a cross in the middle. Okay, and these chain spaces will become our corners, and we should have 2 double crochet clusters as that cross there. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so again, because we need to bring this up to get the height, so we need to do 3 chains that will act as our double crochet later on. Okay, so we chain 3. Now we need to jump over here, okay, into our corners where we do our, well, now it's a little bit different. So just follow along, trust me on this. So we chain 3, we yarn over, and we do 3 double crochets into this corner. This is the only time that it really kind of gets, like when you're starting out, it's a little confusing. 1, 2, 3, because the first few rows, there's kind of a lot going on, and it's a little different for each one. So we do our 3 double crochets into that corner. Now we're going to chain 2, just like we were before, and we're going to go back into this corner. We're going to go back inside the same space here, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, if you need to, you can try and like pull your first set of double crochets over a bit to make some room. So we yarn over after our chain 2, because this is still going to be our corner at the end. So we need to have that chain 2 in there. And we do 3 double crochets right inside that same space. 1, 2, 3. All right. Excuse me. So we are not going to chain 2 right now because we're not in a corner. But what we are going to do is we yarn over, and we're going to jump right into this corner here. You see that? We have our 4 corners there. So we're done our first one. Now we're going to jump right into the second one over here. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go 1, that's our pattern, 2, 3 double crochet clusters, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, oops, lost my yarn there. And then we're going to do our other 3, just like we did in our last one. Our other 3 double crochet clusters. 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. Okay. And the third one. We're going to do the same thing. Yarn over. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2 for our corner to keep that corner going, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we have 1 more to do here, right here in this space here. So this one is going to be a little bit different because this is where we started here. Okay, so bear with me. We yarn over and we do 3, 1, 3 double crochet, 2, 3. Okay, we chain 2 for that corner, like so. Okay, and then we're going to do only 2. We're only going to do 2 now because we have this one that is acting as a double crochet like before, because this is where we started. Okay, so we're only going to do 2 in here now in this space just to finish that row. So this is where you know that you're at the end of at the end of your row. Okay, because this is where we started. So to finish up, we're just going to do 2. 1, 2, like so. And again, we're going to find that top right here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go inside like so. Make sure you have those 2 loops on the top there. Pull up a loop, and we're going to slip stitch, pull through the one on our hook. All right. Do you see that? See how that's turning into a square there now? Okay, so as we keep going, like in this round now, we have these extra holes, okay? We didn't have these before. We just had the corners here that we were working into, but as we're growing, like I said, our bridge, say that this is our bridge, it needs stability from one corner to the next, right? So we are going to have to work into these into these spaces here, okay? But we are only chaining 2 in the corners. So right now we're at the top here. Okay. We slip stitch there. That's fine. So what we do now is we do our chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's our starting chain like we have had that we're going to join with at the end. Okay, just like we just did. So we start there, yarn over, we're going to go into this corner space. We're going to do our 3 double crochets. That all stays the same, like especially in the corners, the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So there's our first set of 3. Chain 2, okay, because we got to make this corner to turn it into our circle into a square. 1, 2, 3. Now, you know how before we were jumping all the way from this corner to this corner? Well, we need this pillar here. We need our 3 double crochet cluster here so that our work doesn't fall in. We need something to hold that up. So we're going to do 3 double crochets in here, no chains, and we're only doing 1 set of 3 double crochets. 2, 3, just like that. There we go. We have our little pillar from one corner to the next there now to help hold that up. Now we do our corner just like we were before. 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 now, sorry, got ahead of myself there. Chain 2, and we go right back in, yarn over, and we do 3 more double crochets. So the point in these 3 double crochets is every round our square is going to get bigger. That's the whole point in doing these 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Okay, that's called an increase. When you do more than one stitch inside a stitch space or inside of a stitch, it's called an increase. So this is how our square gets bigger and bigger every round. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's keep going. Yarn over, and we're not in a corner. We just finished a corner. So it's like corner, pillar, corner, pillar, corner, pillar. And so we're just doing 3 double crochets into this space to make our pillar. 2 and 3. Now we're back to a corner. So you got it. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So 2, 3. Okay, chain 2. And we go back in. 1, 2, 3. Just like so. Voila! Now we got to do our pillar. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're back to the corner here. And 3, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Double crochets, chain 2, and go 1, 2, up. Try that again. 2, 3. Like so. Okay. Now we have 1 here for our pillar already. That's our starting one. So in here we only need to do 2. And then we attach it to the top of this one, which will turn this one into our 3rd double crochet. Okay, for our 3 double crochet cluster, because this is acting as a double crochet, this chain, remember? So let's go in here. We do our 2 double crochets. 1, 2, this is our last one. 2 double crochets, and we find the top of this guy, and we're going to slip stitch, and we turned him into a double crochet. You see that? All right, see how I said each time we're going to grow, right? So this here, if you look at it now, remember we had a corner, we had a pillar, and a corner, right? So these 2 here, these are our corners with our chain 2 space. So we have our 3, chain 2, 3. And then remember we had our pillar to hold that bridge up, say like this is a bridge. You need something in the middle or else our work is going to kind of go burnt. So there's our pillar, and then here's our other corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. But now, right, we only had this 1 hole here. Now we have 2. So this is how we're growing, right? So instead of only doing 1 in the middle here, like we're going to be working into these spaces. So we're going to have 2 now. So instead, we're going to be doing corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Then we're going to do a 3 double crochet, pillar, 3 double crochet, pillar, and then our usual corner again. So let's tighten this guy back up and let's work around here. So don't forget to chain 3. That's your starting point. And we will join it at the end. After we do the 2 double crochets, we will join to this chain 3 and make it into a double crochet, if you want to say a double crochet post. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, this is our first corner. 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. These are actually really fun once that you get to know like how to make them and what you're doing. I like how they just grow and grow. Okay, so now we have 2 spaces. So we need to do our first pillar here, which is what, guys? 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And we just jump into that next hole. 1, 2, 3, like so. And now we're at our next corner already, that chain 2 space there. We're just gonna jump right in there and get going. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, whoop, whoop, 2, 3. Okay, we have our 2 pillars. 1, 2, 3. First pillar is done. Go into this one. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at our corner again. So we have 2 sides done already. This is my 3rd double crochet. Chain 2. And 1. So there's many ways to make granny squares. There's lots of different ways people do them, make them, different designs, what have you. This is just how I do it. Some people, they turn it after each round and it makes your squares more predominant. Some people come back, they kind of work backwards, do 3 double crochets and then go forward again, I've noticed. I don't know. A lot of people do it different ways though. So now we got to do our 3 double crochet cluster or pillar, if you want to call it, in the bridge context. This is our second one here. So we're just working in those spaces. 3. And we're on our last corner already, guys. All right. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we still have our 2 pillars here, but for the second one here, we're only going to do the 2 double crochets and connect it, make that chain into our 3rd double crochet. So this is our starting chain here. So let's go into this first one. We'll make our first pillar, or 3 double crochet cluster, or increase. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You see how we're turning into a square here, guys? Look at that. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Now, only 2 double crochets into the space. 1, 2, and we connect at the top of that chain to turn it in to our double crochet post. Slip stitch, voila, there we go. All right, let's do one more round, and then I'll leave it to you guys because it's just the same thing over and over. So don't forget to do your chain 3 to start. There you go. So that will be ready for you when you get to the end. Okay, let's work into this corner. Three, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, so you notice last time we only had 2 pillars, now we got 3 we have to do. So this is how we keep getting bigger and bigger. So these spaces here, we need 3 double crochet clusters now. 1, 2, 3, and then we're into our corner again here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Try that again. 3. First pillar's done. 1. Oh, goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3. Second pillar's done. 1, 2. See, so it's kind of hard to start off at first. I can see how people can get confused because you're not doing exactly the same thing. Like we made 2 double crochets here and opposed to 3, right? And we're just starting out. But once you get past this first part here, and here we didn't have posts, right? We had corner, 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 corner. And so yeah, once you get past this, you do 4 corners, and then after that, it's pretty smooth sailing. If you can get past this part, which can be confusing, then you're good to go, right? But it can take a little bit to kind of wrap your head around that part. It's kind of tricky. It can be tricky. And if you don't do it right, then your square is going to not end up being so squarey. All right, so this is our corner. What are we at? Our second corner. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. 2 more corners to go. There's our first pillar. 3 double crochet cluster. 2. There's our second one. And it is done. Third. Okay. And it's going to curl a bit just because it's getting bigger, but don't worry about it. It's easy to flatten out after. It's just because you're working with it right now and, you know, your hand hits it and it just kind of starts to curl or what have you, or just the yarn itself. But no worries on that. This is what, our third corner already? Man. We're just flying. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's our first pillar. 1, 2, 3. Here's our second pillar. 1, 2, 3. There's our third pillar. Now we're back at it, our last corner. All right, let's do her. Two chains and our last 3 double crochets for this corner. 2, 3. All right, so here we are. Here is our starting chain. So we're going to do our 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, and our 2 double crochets, and connect to the top of our starting chain to turn that chain into our 3rd double crochet. So 1, 2, getting pretty big now, 3, 1, 2, 3, and here we are on our 3rd double crochet cluster or pillar. I'm going to go right into this hole here, 1, or space, I guess, 2, and let's connect right to the top, right on the right side of this post here. So we got 1, 2, 3. Let's get in there. There we go. Make sure that you have your 2 loops on the top there. Mine are there. They're just kind of crisscrossed where they look like one, but there's 2. And we slip stitch. All right. How we doing here? Pull that up so I don't lose where I'm at. Here we go. There. Voila. So that is how to do a granny square. So you can make so many things with these, right? There's clothing, there's bags, there's what have you. You can make them like, you know, a bunch of them, and then you sew them together. This one's a little bit bigger, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the same size, actually. It just looks bigger, I think, because it's black. I don't know. The darker the color, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so you can sew them together, and then you can make like a big, like different colors of these. So you don't have to do, like, it looks really cool when you do like different colors in one square, but you don't have to. Like, if you hate changing colors, you know, it's not your thing, then you don't have to do it. You can make one whole square like this and just do different colors of these, attach them, and make whatever, garments, handbags, what have you. So that is it for tonight. If you like this video, please like or give us a thumbs up down below. Invite your friends to learn how to crochet with you if they are interested. And don't forget to subscribe to help support me. Thank you. Have a great night.